Welcome back. We were talking about the situation in India for Muslims. Now this CAA, Citizenship Amendment Act, and how it impacts Muslims in India, Dr. Saab.
Okay. Actually, before discussing about the CAA, I shall try to tell about Modi's political objectives.
Right.
Yesterday, I read in the Indian newspaper that Rahul Gandhi, one of the Congress leaders, is a Congress president, in fact, he told that Modi and Nathuram Godse belong to the same ideology.
Yep.
But I should say there is a difference.
Almost the same party also.
Yeah, because they are the product of RSS, Rashtriya Sevak Sangh. But there is a difference. Nathuram Godse killed Gandhi. He didn't kill any Muslims. But Modi killed Muslims. While he was the chief minister of Gujarat, several days, killing, Muslim killing went on, in Ahmedabad. And you see, in a civilized country,
you can always say it is said.
If in a civilized country, if a robber attack a house, within minutes, police come. But there, days after days, night after night, Muslim genocide went on.
Even a parliamentarian was killed. Right?
Even, Mr. Jaffrey, he was there, and hundreds of people took shelter in his house, and he rang Modi that please send somebody, and but nobody came.
Right.
And he himself was slaughtered. He was cut into pieces.
Right.
That is the deed of Modi. While he was actually, in fact, he supervised the killing of Muslims in Gujarat. So, but Nathuram Godse killed one man, that was Gandhi, and Modi killed so many people, thousands of people. So, another important thing is this about Modi's politics. There is a very famous politician. His name is George Fernandez. He's a leftist leader from Bihar. He described Modi's politics. He was
also a former railway minister.
Right? Railway minister, yes. And he told that Modi doesn't bother about doing good things for the Hindus, but his political commitment to do harm for the Muslims. Now, you see, they started with NRC. NRC means National Register of Citizens. And their objective was to evict Muslims, millions of Muslims.
Because they would not support him.
And actually, they want to reduce the. They are very much, what should I say, worried about the increasing number of Muslims in India. Suppose in West Bengal in 1947, about 20% are Muslims. Now they are 33% Muslims, and in 47, about 12% Muslims in whole India. Now they are about close to about 16% Muslims. So they are worried that in several hundred years, probably Hindustan will be a Hindu minority state. So they want to evict Muslims from Muslims from India, and they took Assam and West Bengal as a target, because they think that they can evict the Muslims from West Bengal and Assam to Bangladesh, to label them as immigrants from Bangladesh.
But several million people from Bangladesh, or probably of Bangladeshi origin, are living in Assam, is it?
Actually, these are the people, those are the migrants, Hindu migrants. You might be knowing that when NRC was done in Assam, 1.9 million, that means 19 lakh people were declared stateless. And out of them, 70% are the Hindus. And then rest are the Muslims. But these Muslims are the people, those who used to live in some river islands of Brahmaputra river. And these people are the people, those who are floating people. They didn't have their birth certificate, they didn't have any land entitlement, so they couldn't produce the certificates. And then they are declared, though, they are the stateless people. You see, one thing, in Bangladesh, how many people have the date of birth certificate? I do not have birth certificate.
At one time it was the matrix certificate.
You see, so many people in Pakistan, in Bangladesh, India, the same situation. Most of the people, they do not have any birth certificate. And those who are living in slums, in shanties, so they do not have any land entitlement. They are floating people. They do not have any certificates.
They have no permanent address.
They have no permanent address. And if they are told that, oh, you have to produce your documents, otherwise you will be entitled, you will not get the citizenship. That happened in Assam. And then what happened? And it actually became difficult for BJP to swallow this fact that 70% are the Hindus. Then came CAA, that is Citizenship Amendment Act. Why? To accommodate this 70% Hindus, those who are stateless. But you see, this is the point. But they left Muslims out of that. You see, those Hindus, those Christians, Buddhists, those who come from Bangladesh, Pakistan, Afghanistan, they will be entitled, they will be given the citizenship of India, but excluding the Muslim. So this is just secularism, in fact. This is a bias against the Muslim.
The same thing has been practiced in Myanmar.
Exactly.
Depriving thousands and thousands of Muslims, particularly from the Arakan area, Rohingyas and all, citizenship. They cannot produce documents. See. They have land, but they cannot have the documents. They don't have the documents to the land. They have been living there, but whose land it is, they do not know. From forefathers, but under which name, see. So they have been deprived of citizenship. They have been driven off. They can't get education. They can't go to a school because they don't have the documents. The same thing is happening there.
Exactly. This is the expression of racism, radical nationalism, fascism, all over the world. The same disease, actually. Germans did the same against the Jews. Indians are doing against the Muslims. And then Burmese people, they are doing against the Rohingya peoples. So this fascism, everywhere the symptoms are the same. You see, now I look what is happening in India. They want to dump the Muslims as the stateless people in some say concentration camp. Already in Assam, they have built the concentration camp. They will be dumped there, and the World Food Organization will give the feeding. You see, food comes from the UNO, and they will be deprived of the voting rights. They want to make millions of Muslims in India to make the stateless voting. They will not have been deprived of voting rights. This is the objective, actually, and they will try to push them to Bangladesh.
But look what has happened in Kashmir. That is a completely different story to look at, but the objective probably is the same.
Exactly. Now the Modi government, BJP, RSS, their objective, political objective is nothing but anti-Muslims, harming the Muslims in anywhere. In Kashmir, they are doing the same thing. They are harming the Muslims. That is not a prison camp, open prison camp. You see, they have no right to demonstrate. Their internet connection was cut off. No international journalist.
That has been restored, but you know that is like 2G, you see, which is very difficult to access outside lines, outside information. You can't get information from Google and all that. So the students sitting there, not being able to go to school or colleges, universities. Plus, there's a most dangerous thing was that Kashmiri students studying at many universities in India were discriminated against just because they were Kashmiris. And they were not allowed to go back, they were not allowed to attend their schools, they were not allowed to do this, do that, and they were running out of money.
Exactly, that is happening. You know that in JNU, at Jawaharlal Nehru University in Delhi, Kashmiri students are beaten, and they are told that they are anti-Indian, they are terrorists, all these things. And yesterday, I saw in Indian newspapers, Jamia Millia, the university, Jamia Millia, that is one of the epicenter of anti-NRC, anti-CAA movement. One is one thing that in Delhi there are two universities, that Jamia Millia and Jawaharlal Nehru University, and Calcutta, Jadavpur University, then Aligarh University. These are in the forefront. These are the epicenters of anti-BJP movements or anti-NRC, anti-CAA movements.
Well, let us say pro-democracy.
Yeah. Now, look at the fascism. Look at the fascism. Yesterday, it was published in almost all newspapers. I saw in Anand Bazar. Police are standing, and in front of them, a man was shouting that he is a Ram Bhakt. and is firing against the students, and one of the students was wounded in his hand. See? And the police was standing silently, they are just watching.
Yes, this picture has been
the same police, the same police raided Aligarh University, they raided Jamia Milli, they raided Zanu, the Jawaharlal University students, they beat thugs entered into Jawaharlal University campus. They beat one the Jawaharlal University students leader Oishi Ghosh. She was beaten. These things.
Also a Muslim student. She is also one of the leaders at Jawaharlal University.
So extreme fascism is going on in India. And fascism, this is the fascism.
It's not just against Muslims, you know that. You see, about 6 months ago, I happened to meet Anand Patwardhan. He is a filmmaker from Bombay. He is Maharashtrian, and he makes films, documentaries, which are hard-hitting. See, talks about the facts. See, and one of his films about the same thing, the fascism, and then discrimination against not just Muslims but the Dalits. And he was here in London, and the film was shown at to an international audience, and here and also in Birmingham and all places. And in that film, he clearly shows and interviews people and leaders, see, that yes, the discrimination is on. It is rampant. It's not just against Muslims, because I talked to him in detail, it's against many groups.
That's true. One of the lawyers I saw in the YouTube that he told something against the BJP fascism, and his office was ransacked. He was beaten, kicked. You see, that video came to the YouTube. Yeah, truly, that's true. Arundhati Roy, he told boldly something, and she was also given threats.
Yes, that is the trouble with people who think and who talk.
Exactly. Exactly. Actually, total fascism going on. But one thing, one good point is this: that people are now coming out to the street, especially the Muslims.
Yep.
Actually, Muslims.
Okay, sir, we need to take a break, and when we come back, we'll pick up that interesting thread. Thank you for being with us. We'll be back soon after this very short break. Don't go away.